Here he is with Lorianne Brown.
First of all, Sean, how tough a game was that for you today?
Very tough. I think everyone in the first half they were the better side by quite a bit, and yeah, it's a big win for us.
How pleased were you with your performance?
First half I didn't play very well at all. I didn't do much to contribute to the team. Second half was a little better, but if I'd scored that second penalty it would have been a lot easier, so could do better.
You did say you felt Hibs were in control until you did get that equaliser. How happy were you to score that penalty?
Yeah, pretty happy. I think I owed it to my team. I think I was partly at fault for the first goal, so I needed to do something.
And how disappointing were you to miss the second one?
Yeah, I was gutted, but these things happen. It shouldn't happen, but I'll just have to make sure the next one goes in.
And Stephen McManus, of course, celebrated his new contract with a goal. How happy will he be?
Yeah, I think the contract thing's been going on a while, so everybody's glad he signed it, but it was a massive win for us today, so yeah, I think everybody's going to be quite happy.
Celtic are now 15 points clear in the SPL. How delighted are you with that?
Yeah, we need to keep winning, and then obviously things will take care of itself, but yeah, we're quite happy at the moment.
And of course a cup final to look forward to next week.
Yeah, whether or not... Obviously it'll be a tough game next week as well. It's not going to be what it was like the last league game, so we'll have to prepare properly for it.
Well done, Sean. You were named Bank of Scotland Man of the Match today.
Alright, cheers, thanks. Thanks a lot.
All we need to do is get the man of the match to smile. That's our next mission. And he should be smiling because he is having some season, Sean Maloney. Anne-Marie Histon from Glasgow picked him as her man of the match. He was Mark's man of the match. And Anne-Marie, you are our competition winner. Here's the Bank of Scotland Premier League now, with all the weekend games added, and Celtic on 73 points to Hearts 58, a 15-point advantage for Gordon Strachan's team. Rangers 52, Hibs stay 4 points back on 48. They won't have given up the fight though for that third place. Kilmarnock 47, Inverness 40, Motherwell and Aberdeen both competing for top 6 as well. Dundee United's win yesterday takes them to 31. Dunfermline beat Aberdeen, so they're on 22, 10 off the bottom. Falkirk go second from bottom on 21. Livingston have 9 points to make up right at the foot of the table. So Hibs, who started so strongly and took the lead through Derek Riordan's free kick, end up losing. Sean Maloney there equalising with a penalty, and it was Stephen McManus, shortly after signing a 2-year extension to his contract, who stroked home the winner for Celtic. 2-1 winners. Craig Burley and Scott Booth with me in the studio, and Celtic in the end powering home, Craig, in a first half during which they struggled and could have been more than one down.
Yeah, it was a decent match. I thought, you know, as you say, Hibs played well in the first half. I think Tony Mowbray has to be delighted with the way they played. Frustrated they didn't take more of their chances. And but Celtic, that's why they're top of the league. And that's why they've got that gap. And that's why they're sitting comfortable there. Because even when they weren't at the best and they weren't in the first half, they were gritty. They soaked it up. They dug in. And going forward, we've spoken about it most of the season. When they get chances, middle to third, they attack with pace and quality, and they're clinical, and that's how it turned out in the end. At times for Celtic, Scott, it was tight and it was tough for them, and Hibs were the better team in the first half. But how often do Celtic come through?
Well, that's exactly it. We were talking about that earlier on, that, you know, Celtic are fantastic when games are in the balance. They plug away, they work away. You know, they obviously they know they have a gap at the top of the league, but they don't get carried away with that. They just work away. They're methodical, and they know that they have the quality in that side to turn a game. And that's exactly what Maloney has done on numerous occasions this season. Zarowski's done it as well. Hartson's done it at times for them as well, and Petrov. So they have these players that can turn a game. And again today, that was the case. And you see Gordon Strachan snarling on the touchline towards the end there. His team are in a winning position. They've done well to turn the game around, but he's still not happy. Well, at 2-1, it's never over. That's why he wasn't happy. Hibs down to 10 men, but still playing reasonably well, still creating chances. Celtic getting a little bit sloppy at the back in terms of the distribution coming out, and I think that's why we've seen Gordon Strachan getting upset in the side. He wanted to finish the game off, but you've got to give, you know, Hibs credit for their endeavour in the second half. The way they played in the first half, losing the goalkeeper, having to change it, going down to 10 men. It's not easy, but they showed a lot of endeavour. They created chances after they went down to 10 men, and Tony Mowbray will be frustrated that they didn't take some out of a game where they played particularly well for an hour or so.
They did get themselves ahead midway through the first half. A moment of real quality from Derek Riordan for his 18th goal of the season, although the finger of suspicion, I think, pointing here towards Artur Boruc as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was far too far across his goal for this. He was almost asking Riordan, go on, put it in that top corner, and Riordan said, OK, why not?
But in general, I don't think he had his most effective game. It's a fantastic finish.
No.
That's why he came off.
He came off, when Tony Mowbray had to change it because the goalkeeper, he got sacrificed for the goalkeeper. But
you know as well, Craig, though, that he can have that moment.
Yes.
You're talking about, would you take a Maloney off at the moment? Would you do that? I don't know if you would. And for me, I was unsure that was the right choice for Mowbray to take off Derek Riordan at that stage, because although he wasn't having the best game, he can still produce something like that. If they get a free kick outside the box, it could be a goal. So I'm not so sure that was the right choice.
One of Hibs' regrets, I'm sure, is that during that great spell they had in the first half, they didn't score more than once. Here was an opportunity for Stephen Glass.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's a half chance. It's not an easy one. He does the right thing. He goes across goal. But you can see he gets in here. This is the one thing Hibs do at home. They play good, attractive football. They play with pace. Sproul and down the right-hand side in the first half was causing Mark Wilson all sorts of bother, and they did have chances in the game. They did carve Celtic open at times, but they didn't take them. And if you don't take your chances more often than not, a team like Celtic will come back to haunt you, and that's what happened.
The equaliser was all about Sean Maloney. He won the penalty. He scored it himself, taken out from the back by Stephen Whittaker.
Yeah, he gets caught in the ball in midfield, Whittaker, and then he chases back the whole way. And he's just, at this point here, he's thinking, I can just get the ball. Just catches the back of Maloney's heel, prods the ball away, and yeah, I mean, it's a definite penalty and taken so confidently. You just wonder why he didn't do that for the second penalty as well. But fantastic penalty, no chance for the goalkeeper, and at that point it gave Celtic a chance to come back into the game, and that's exactly what they did.
I don't like seeing players sent off, Craig, but can someone tell me why that's not a red card, why that's not a clear goal scoring opportunity that's been thwarted?
Consistency within the referees, with fear of upsetting even more referees. I thought Alan Freeland had a fantastic game today. I thought all his decisions and major ones were absolutely spot on, but I don't want to see players getting sent off. As I say, the goalkeepers getting sent off as well.
But some people do for that same offence,
well,
for even less blatant than that.
Well, that's why they have to be consistent, and maybe if referees maybe have to come out and explain exactly why and why not players do and don't get sent off.
I think some referees take it by the letter of the law, and other ones try and look out with that and think, well, how is this going to affect the game? Does it merit him being sent off?
So his handball outside the penalty box, why is that a red card?
No, but I mean, in this occasion, he's looked at it, I think, from an overall picture, and he's thought, well, he's come back, Whittaker, and he's trying to get that ball. It's a tackle from the back, which should be a red card. He's
looking for an argument. Don't take the bait.
I just think in this, I think he got it right. I think the referee got it right.
I'm just missing my trip to Edinburgh, that's all. Into the second half, and on the hour mark, Stephen McManus scored for Celtic to make it 2-1. Tony Mowbray will have nightmares about defending here.
The two goals he chipped in with in the New Year game against Hearts were vital goals, and again, it's another goal in a big game. And Stephen Glass, it's marking him. He loses him. You can see he's on his heels, Stephen Glass. You have to say, for a centre half getting in there, that's another fantastic finish. And not only having a good season at the back, signed a new contract, chipping in with goals. He has to be delighted the way his season's going so far.
But how many Hibs players were in the box there and not really doing anything about it?
Yeah, exactly. But you've got to give credit to McManus. He's done that.
Good finish. He's
done that 7 times now this season. They're all been similar goals, a couple of headers in there as well, but a lot of scrappy little goals where you don't expect someone of his size to react the way he has, and to give him credit. It was a good finish, and it's a very, very important goal for them as well.
And very quickly, having conceded that goal, Hibs were down to 10 men. Simon Brown, their goalkeeper, sent off. No great decision for Alan Freeland to make as he denied Zurawski.
Yeah, but I wouldn't, OK, the goalkeeper has to take some part of his blame, but it's one hook ball over the top, but it catches the two centre-halves out. It's Gary Caldwell that get caught out, and the goalkeeper has to make a decision, and the referee's got absolutely no choice. But as I say, caught square at the back, Zurawski's through, straight red card, changes the game.
2-1 was how it finished. Let's speak now to Gordon Strachan, the Celtic manager at Easter Road. And I wonder, Gordon, as you pulled back the curtains of your presidential suite this morning, did you think the game would be off?
A possibility, but I got down here early about 11 o'clock and checked the pitch. Surface was perfect. Went back, told the boys we stuck to the same team we picked yesterday. I come down this morning just in case we needed to change the team because of the conditions. But the playing conditions were still good.
Was it a bit surreal with so few Celtic fans having arrived at kick-off time? It was all pretty quiet from that stand, although it filled up later on.
No, if you get 3 of them now, there'll be a right noise. That didn't make any difference to us. And to be fair, we didn't have to give them much to shout about in the first half. I think the Hibs supporters were doing all the shouting, which is quite right for the first half hour that they were the better side.
It's a big win for you because they were so strong early on, and you've responded well and you've turned it around.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think we'd rather have the goal than the goalkeeper getting sent off. We'd rather go to 3-1 than start 2-1 and playing against 10 men. But I thought now, after the first half hour, we changed our shape a wee bit because their shape was, technically we weren't great today, so our shape couldn't go, let it flow, so we changed to something similar to theirs. And then for an hour after that, I thought we were the better side.
And that's a hat-trick of wins against Hibs, who on their day are probably as good as anything you get in the SPL. So that's some achievement.
That's good, yes. We're doing all right just now, and to come here, and you know, and we knew it was going to be a hard game. Everybody knew it was going to be a hard game. Our rivals thought it was going to be a hard game, which it was. But we've managed through ability and heart and character to manage to win the game.
There's a lot of mental strength, isn't there, about your players in a tight, tense game like that, which looks at one point as if it can go either way. Celtic so often come through.
Yeah, well, you need a physical strength, but there's no point in just having that if you're not getting the mental strength. And you've seen the players that we had. Sean Maloney and Zaraski were absolutely magnificent. Zaraski's never seen his teammates the last 3 days. He's a virus. He's come here at 10 o'clock and says, yeah, I'll give it a go. And he's got a huge heart, an absolute huge heart. Physically he's running a bit, but mentally, being able to turn up on a day like this, it's horrible, it's nasty. At 10 o'clock the snow was coming down bad. He wants to play. And Maloney, after not a very good first half for him, got better. Then he missed the penalty. Then when he went on a different level from the rest of the people on the playing field.
Is doing without John Hartson, which you had to do today, something you'll have to get used to for next season if he's off ski in the summer?
Rob, how long have you known me as if I'm going to answer that question?
I
We're
was
here
worth
to
a
talk
try.
about the
Come
game.
on.
It's a lovely day. We've won another 3 points. Let's just get on with that.
Talking of prolific,
that's for you to talk about. You're good at that.
Talking of prolific goal scorers,
Oh,
then
Craig's
you must be
I don't know about
delighted to get. You must be delighted to get 7 goals from a central defender, Stephen McManus, and he seems to save them for pretty important games as well.
Yeah, and he's on the move. He's brave. He's clever, and I thought, apart from his goal there, I thought he was outstanding because he had a lot of work to be done around his area, and him and young Wilson were excellent.
You were snarling a bit in the second half towards the end of the game. Was that because 11 against 10, you hadn't got it quite killed off?
Well, you don't snarl because of that. I'm snarling a wee bit because our fullbacks are bombing on trying to win in the last minute and trying overlaps, and we really should be. We had enough forward. We didn't need the fullbacks to go forward, and I was wanting them to stay, but it's just the players we've got. They're desperate to get forward and overlap and try and create chances. I was delighted with the way we played and kept the ball in the second half.
Here's another question you won't fancy. Is the champagne on ice then? 15 points ahead?
There you go, you're right, that's another question I'm not happy about. Well done, Rob, you've got 2 of the day. I'll give you another one, then I'm off.
No, that's it. Thanks very much, Gordon. Well done today.
Thank you very much, thank you, bye.
Celtic 2-1 winners at Easter Road against Hibs, having gone 1 down in the first half. Let's resume our reflections on the match, and Zbigniew Malkowski came on as replacement for